guys, Christina McNair here, the relationship facilitator with Fresh Start Relationship Coaching, also known as FSR Coaching LLC. Thank you so much for joining us today. You are watching another episode of Fresh Talk with Fresh Start. Before I get into the question of the day, I would just like to remind you all to go to our website and book your very own session with moi, the relationship facilitator, for relationship coaching. It is completely confidential and you will not regret that you did so. You can find us or you can book your sessions at www.fsrcoaching.com. I will reiterate that at the end, but I just wanted to hit you with that from the beginning. Now, let's get to business. Today's question of the day is a very good question. I don't find it to be a difficult one. Someone else may have a different opinion. I'm completely fine with that. But the question was submitted to me, so I'm going to answer according to my opinion, my experience, my expertise, etc. Okay? If you like this video or if you dislike it, I would love if you would comment, follow, share, dislike it, and still share it and say how dumb my opinion is. Either way, I'll take the publicity. Thank you. Okay, so the question is, what do you do about meddling moms and mother-in-laws in a marriage? It just so happens I have experience in this on both sides, my mother as well as my mother-in-law. And mind you, love them both dearly, nothing negative at all, but throughout these years of me being married, I had to learn firsthand what was acceptable, what was unacceptable, what was healthy and what was not healthy for the status of my marriage. Okay, and so maybe some of you all will be able to relate to that. My response to this is very clean cut, straight to the point. I don't leave you guessing, which is my philosophy is when you marry someone, when you're involved in a marriage, you're married to one, not a ton. You are responsible for becoming one with one person, not a ton of people. Now, I understand that certain relationships and certain families really, seem to carry more weight to certain people than others. I totally understand that. But at the end of it all, the truth still remains you are married to one, not a ton. Yes, people's relatives come along with the package. They're part of the package. However, it is not your responsibility to attempt to become one with the relatives, regardless of how near or far is the relation. You are responsible for becoming one with the other individual involved in the marriage. That is all. And if you, in fact, took the time to really think about who you're marrying and you really, put serious consideration into this and you feel like you've married your forever person, your one, then they are supposed to be your priority in your life. Not that or top priority outside of, if you have religious beliefs outside of whatever God you serve. It's supposed to be your spouse after that. Because you are standing before someone, even if you don't believe it's God, you're standing before someone and saying that I now accept you in my life as top priority. And I'm not going to allow this marriage, this bond, this union to be easily broken. Well, if you say that, then that's you saying I forsake all others, not just side chicks, not just side guys, but even your family, close and extended relations. You are saying, not forsaken, I have nothing to do with you all any further, but forsaking them and saying that this woman and or this man is now my top priority in life. Every decision I make, it is to try to better my life along with the life of my spouse. And if you have children, of course, they're included as well. Okay, so again, I will reiterate, it is my opinion that the marriage is about the two people involved becoming one. You are committed to one, not a ton. Now, let's break it down because this person stated meddling moms and mother-in-laws. So what I would say is if you have a meddling mother-in-law, I don't believe, again, this is my opinion, which you're entitled to object to. And that's fine. I won't be offended. But it is my opinion that if it is your in-law that's meddling, especially it being your mother-in-law that's meddling, it's my opinion that it's not your responsibility to deal with that. It is that mother-in-law's child's responsibility to deal with her, because it can become very iffy, very touchy if you as the significant other attempt to deal with that in-law directly. It could also backfire and cause an explosion within your marriage. So I would suggest that you communicate. If it is your mother-in-law, you communicate with your husband or your wife, hey, I don't like what your mother is doing. I feel like your mother is so ever present in this relationship, she almost feels like God. If that's the case, just make it plain. I don't like that your mother always has something to say about our marriage. I don't like that your mother feels like she's a third party in this marriage, in this relationship. I don't like that it feels like your mother has a legitimate vote in this marriage, because she should not. You are married to one, not a ton. Okay? Communicate that. And it would be best if you would communicate that before you get worked up to here emotionally. Because once you get here, then it's gonna come out. I can't stand this, and that's why I don't like that. And why do you like this? And blah blah blah. Go on and on. That's ineffective communication. And your spouse is not going to receive your message as well as he or she would if you communicate all along, hey, this bothered me. I really wish you would have a conversation with your mom about this. Or this makes me feel this way, or causes me to feel this way when she says things like this, or when she does things such as this. Just communicate. It could be the difference between happy ever after or happily ever after and I holla because this isn't working for me. Just communicate to your significant other. It will make a world of a difference. Now, if the meddling mom is your mom, then you already know. We tend to excuse our mothers, Lord, because they do so much for us. They are the person with whom we are bonded to or bound to the longest in life, because we grew inside of them. So they will always have a heads up on anyone in any situation. You are not saying you don't love your mother. You're not saying you don't honor your mother, and you're not saying you don't respect your mother for checking her. Get her in line. If your marriage means anything to you, if it is of the utmost priority to you and you don't want to lose it, you don't want it to end, check your mama. Check her. It's okay. It is completely okay. Yo, ma, you know I love you, right? Girl, you my girl. But listen, every time I talk to you about the situations that's going on with my husband and me, I take your advice and it don't really work out all that well. So what I'm going to try to do from here is I'm just going to try to keep you out of our marriage and just keep our issues between my husband and I. And we're going to try to work through our things. If your mother responds with anything other than, sweetheart, I understand. I totally understand. I apologize if my 2 cents had any negative bearing on your marriage. That wasn't my intention. If she responds with anything other than that, then she's suspect. I'm suspicious as to whether she really wants this marriage to work. Because if she really wants it to work, then she'll tell you she respects your decision and she understands it. Even if she doesn't, she'll say that to you because she'll want you to know that she's supportive of whatever it is that you decide. And now if your mother responds, if she hits you with something such as, girl, he just don't want us to be close anymore. He just isn't. Well, that's further causing division between your husband and you. So again, she's suspect. Check her before you find yourself lonely and miserable just as she is. Even if she's in a marriage or a relationship, if she's giving you that type of advice, that any type of advice that could possibly result in you and your husband separating, then I'm curious about her agenda. That's what I'll say about that. But If the mother is yours, you are responsible for checking your mother. If the mother is your husband's or vice versa, then that person is responsible for checking their mother. I really don't see any good coming out of you checking your spouse's mother. That's mama. Nobody is really, it's not easy for anyone to choose someone over their mother in any life, in any situation. So you can't win. You can't win if you attempt to check someone else's mother. Leave it to the child of that mother, whichever significant other or spouse in the relationship is the child of the mother that's causing the problem with all of her meddling. Let them check their own mother. Okay. But if nothing else, if you don't take anything else away from this, take away from it this: when you marry someone, you are married to one, not a ton. It is not your responsibility nor your mandate to make everyone in his or her family happy. That's a luxury if you all get along, but it should not be a necessity, because when you decided to marry him or her, or when he or she decided to marry you, they decided to make you top priority in their lives. And if their actions are not aligning with their words, if they gave you that type of message, then you all need to sit down and effectively communicate to one another how you're going to move forward from here, or unfortunately, if you will, because sometimes it doesn't always work out that way. Okay, I hope this has been a help to someone. Once again, this is Christina McNair, the relationship facilitator with Fresh Start Relationship Coaching. Again, go book your session at www.fsrcoaching.com. We love to hear from you. We'd love to meet you and speak with you, and we can have a face-to-face one-on-one, completely confidential. Again, that's www.fsrcoaching.com. You can check it out right below. All right, thanks so much. Until next time, we'll meet again.